Yes, my people, welcome to Bayelsa State Heritage Museum and
My name
Monument.
is Mr. Mangete Ayerite Samuel. You are here in the Bayelsa State Heritage Museums and Monument, opposite Police Officer Smith's, Yenagoa. The museum you're saying, it's a specific museum known as the Bayelsa State Heritage. It's talking about heritage and preservation of its culture, about its state, the state Bayelsa itself. From the year the museum was created, 2009 till now, we've been having tremendous achievements in the state and in the Bayelsa as a whole. The museum itself is trying to capture the viewers and audience of its environment. Some few months back, we did a very interesting program known as Arts in the Mind of a Child, which is trying to showcase its culture, its heritage, using the children to preserve our culture and making sure that our culture do not go extinct, because that's part of the thing we have today in the Culture Day celebration today. I think for now, I would say a little from now and make sure that when we go into the gallery, we have like about 3 galleries we have. One of the galleries we have is a special gallery. We have the pictorial gallery. We have a temporary gallery for the children to showcase their wonderful talents. Then we have the Monument and Site Gallery, Egberifao or Noao.
Ghana will take us around to show us a lot of things when it day inside this museum. Remember, we get our roots. Man will not know a root, he lost. So we must know more about our history. So make we dey go. Mauga, good afternoon once more.
Good afternoon.
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
So we don't see the better things we don't do. And you don't also tell us so many things for inside office. Now we can't verify what you tell us for inside office. So we see so many big men here there. So we dey inside here.
Okay, make I tell you something first. As my brother started, and I make myself Onoao, and it means welcome. Now, waiting day here be the special gallery as I've been telling now. Waiting day here now just a summary of waiting day for our museum. And this museum, a particular one where we want to talk the important thing about our state. And we will start by explaining some few things where they here. Not only me and my team, one of my managers in the person of Mrs. Bridget Lobo. She will follow me do the thing, because for office, not only one person they do the thing. My team, and this now the particular department where they do this on the educational service department, now they do this type of thing. But I want to open the floor for us to see. She will tell us more how the Bayelsa take start. Museum not be place where everything that they talk and finish. Waiting they here be say, we want make on know waiting day inside the Bayelsa state. Make we start from this side. When I see this thing here, this thing, now wetin happen for River State, where crocodile and one fisherman or farmer, and this crocodile don't they terrorize the community for a very long time.
Wow.
So I think they terrorize and they do this thing. They don't know what they do. And so the day this man come meet am, he no fit kill the crocodile, and the crocodile itself no fit kill him. So they come fighting struggle come out. Come go telling community people say, see wetin dey happen o. I don't see the thing where they make all our people they miss or where they die like that. Now one big crocodile. But you see this thing where you see so in art, we call it a 3-dimensional work of art made of fiber. This now the imagination of the artist to create this thing. Before waiting happen. This now the thing will be in the stand for center of River State before for station bus stop. Want this thing to tell people how this thing dey. So now the story be this now the Ogbon get on it. But at the end of the day, they finally kill this thing. You know, say we come out from River State. We're part of River State. So this is why we still hold this one close to ourselves. Now, from this type of thing now, we will come to this one. This one are annual and yearly events where they happen for Bayelsa State. And they call this one the headgear known as the Ogoriba in Odi community. For the way they do this celebration. This now what they call the buffalo head.
Okay.
Are you seeing this now the buffalo head? This one now the one where they go put to take do like masquerade they dance, let people know. But the real thing now the buffalo with one hunter where they go show when you go. If you go to your community, then draw just like this one, then draw like that for. Odi. The story wey dey behind this thing be say this particular buffalo na only Odi people na in dey attack. Wow. I no know whether in get their blood or there's something for their body, but na only Odi people, the Ijaw people, the Epie people, you know they do that. The Yoruba people, you know, but na the only Odi people. Now they come tire. Say wetin happen. So they consult the gods. The gods come tell them, say, we must go one place for that. That's the way they go get the thing. The man come tell them, say, we go one place, we want this thing. Come go there to make sure, say, this thing no go dey kill the community people again. So at the end of the day, they succeed in getting this thing. At the end of the day, they finally kill this buffalo. If you now remember, this is the place where our former president say make them bring down the community.
Yeah, where they go, say make go wipe them down.
Go wipe them down. So that is. Now we could talk this one. You know why? You know, say na heritage we dey.
Yes, sir.
We deliberately, na deliberate act to keep on like this, make our children, because most of the time our children they come to this thing, make them see what they call the talking drum. These are different types of talking drum, but this is not the Niger Delta type of talking drum. We purposely do and make them see how it be. Now, if you move to that side, my brother, shift small. You see this one. Come closer, see this one. You see this one. These days now, our people, if you don't, then they wear singlet now, but not be our culture be that.
Okay.
We must not wear singlet. And when we they put our leg for the drum. And when you done, what are the purpose and the reason for this talking drum? For wrestling, there's a way they go play, and the wrestler go ginger the wrestler to come fight. Then if not for the time when they want to do chieftaincy, he go play the title of the chief. The chief go know say, now him
that they talk about.
He go come out. Then for relaxation and everything, na part of the reason. So and see how you dey. And this one too na fiber work. Because we want to preserve it, make them know say, now like this he dey. See, I'm no singlet, na cap and wrapper. That is the reason why you see him like this. Now, this is a very interesting one. This one, they call him war canoe.
Okay.
War canoe. And funny enough, this not the same war canoe where they beat the British man for the Akasa War or the Akasa raid in Akasa. And the thing where they here now, this one, man where you see here, now be the chief priest.
Where they control them?
The chief priest, where they protect them so that all we call them, all this thing to protect them for anything. Now him did that, him go conjure, say, oh yeah, anything ahead, make we go. While this one, like the compound chief or the king, if he want to go the war, then him go, see how I look my hand, that's how they do my hand. Him go say, oh yeah, make we go in the prefer. All this now in deputy, this now the people will go paddle the canoe. While this thing where you see here, they call them cannon. And as part of the trade by barter, now we take fight them. Take do. This raft where you see, say, not be for an ordinary thing. Now the thing where if they shoot, the bullet no go come. Now this thing, now that juju protection be this one. While this man wait there for here, now they pilot the chief, the canoe. So in our Ijaw language, we call this thing omongaro. I repeat again, in some part it's called omongaro war canoe. Are you with me now?
Yes, sir.
So we move to this one. You know, play. Walk. You must tire. You want to relax.
Okay.
We get the calabash where would they put the palm wine and water to drink. Now it be this one. Now people they ask why we put this thing for here. If you don't go any country, you know, so they go talk history about Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
And other things. So we will capture this one. We want to talk about Ghana. You don't see how? We want to, because there's more resemblance on this thing. This one are Ghana people, and Ghana people and us, we were good brothers, and we still be brothers. This is from Ashanti in Ghana,
okay,
called the Golden Stool. But this now wood we take down. Everything about this thing, anytime this thing there, and the king sit down here, it don't become law. But if you look and well again, there are lines where they describe what thing they happen. Where this person, there are lines, everything gets meaning where you see from here. Are you with me now?
Yes, sir.
Now in the reason it's called the golden stool, but this one are wood, so that make it no be saying only one culture. We just want to buttress
what thing they happen
for other places and do this thing. This one, the hero of our time, in the person of late Jasper Isaac Adaka Boro.
Wow.
I no go talk too much for now, but wetin I go tell you be say, this is a brass work of a three-dimensional work of art, which is also known as sculpture in the round. Bros, make I take you do an example. Oh, yeah, look the thing well. Go round and see how it is. You don't see wetin they do. Wetin they do, in they go round now. You don't see am.
Yeah.
That is the reason why they say sculpture in the round, in they go round. So if you tap am small, you go still say na metal.
Yeah.
This na the thing, because na him start the foundation of Rivers State where una dey see so before the coming of Bayelsa State. Why I just want put on this na special this thing. When we go for the other side, we will tell una the ogbonge story about this man, just to catch awareness. So we come to this one. They say Bayelsa no get cloth. Now this thing, see am. This is called a loom. A loom. This na the thing. It resembles the Adire people that type of this thing. I mean, Ashoke type of cloth. Yeah. But this one na loom. They call this one a loom. This na the type way for Akwete. And this thing no dey again. For Bayelsa State, we know even now with the plan, people for Bayelsa, they no sabi do this thing again. That's why we keep this one to preserve. Make sure when people decide, they say, hey, not like this. We self get one type of fabric where we dey take wear. We don't learn. And the story wey dey there, plenty. If I start, we no go finish for this one. But this na the machine or the tools wey dem dey take do Akwete for here. Now we move to this place. You see this man, on the television people, they say on no be television people, if I don't they shoot on our scene so. This man is the modern Igbesu fighter, the modern freedom fighter. Why I talk so? See, those days, Igbesu people, they don't like oppression or intimidation. They are free-thinking human beings, but people they treat them another way. See, those days we know they use machine gun, we know they use magazine. Now machete, and we know they use combat trouser, but we just want to buttress on and say this man, he know they like problem, but they fight for justice, peace, and equality. Now be this, but him now he come wear combat trouser. But to take no say now our brother, now our freedom fighter, see in bandara we put on like scarf for his head, then see in Igbesu the charm we put for his body for this place here. Then they tell you, so that is how this one we position am for this door, so that if you get bad spirit like e dey like this, in the hammer you, they shoot you. And this thing again now we make am from fiber to immortalize our freedom pattern like our great hero like that. See how you see him now uniform in wear.
Yeah.
But this one are the modern Igbesu fighter. Now we look at this place. We want to immortalize our heroes too, our governors that have ruled Bayelsa State. If you see these three people, this is now the custodian of the present Bayelsa you are seeing. The first executive governor of Bayelsa State is in the person of late DSP Alame Seha. Now we do in a bronze form, in a terracotta form, from metal. You see him like that. Then after him, now him deputy, but he can become governor again for Bayelsa State. Former president of Nigeria, Jonathan Ebele, now in here. After him, immediately, we have the great man also, we stumble to make sure things happen to, in the person of Timipre Silva, one-time governor of Bayelsa State.
We dey for the Pretoria area right now. I would like make una hear from one of the instructor. If I believe they with me, Pikin we don't know where from the country Pikin lost. So that's the reason why we need to do this documentary, make people know more about Bayelsa State. Mama, good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon, sir.
See my hand, oh. Aloha.
No, sir. I want to talk about the creation of Bayelsa State.
Okay.
We all know that Bayelsa State was created 1st October 1996. Okay. And the person that created Bayelsa State was late General Sani Abacha,
Okay.
which we are seeing. When you look at our Bayelsa State, we have about the history of Bayelsa State. Then it was a military government.
Yeah.
So what the government do, what the presidency do, they will send a military government, either a navy, an army, to the state to govern. And the first military governor that was sent was Navy Captain Philip Ayeni followed by Abu Daura. You can see that one was a Navy. This one, Abu Daura was a policeman. Then we have Caleb Omoni as also a Navy, and we have Adoebi as an army man. Then in the year 1990, democracy, our first elected governor was late Chief DSP Alamesia, followed by, just as my boss have already explained, you can see everything, and the president governor we have today. What we have here, this is known as our form of worship.
Okay.
Before the advent of Christianity, our parents were idol worshippers. They have different shrines for different purposes. We have this one, Aziba token.
Okay.
Is in this down in Agua. The history behind this shrine was during the Biafra War, the Civil War. According to history, the native of this community, known as Ovum, nobody died. They did not last people. Even as other community, the war was ravaging, people were dying, and the rest. This community did not lost any soul because it is believed that this python, during that war,
this python
he will leave the river and come to this particular location and stay. And he will go back in the evening, he will go back. It is believed that it was this python that was protecting them. So they now have to build this shrine for him, and he has a worshipper. This shrine is known as a shrine for protection. That he protects those that are to worship him. All right. Then we also have this as a shrine, also a protection. Okay, this is Otuan, a shrine of Otuan. We also have this one. This is a shrine for wealth. Okay, this is known as a Bekenawe shrine. Also, this one is a shrine as Sabama. This one is Asabama. This one is a war god. In those days, when they want to go to war, you know, our parents fought war. Even with the external war, even our neighbors, there was war as well. Okay, and it is made to understand that before you go to war, before they went to war those days, they will come to this shrine
to consult.
To offer sacrifice. They don't use human being.
Okay.
What they used was purely dog. All right, and women don't enter. Women don't enter this shrine. The purpose, according to history, that the reason why women don't enter is not because women have something, but because of our menstrual cycle. You may enter there. That is when it comes. It will defile the god, so they don't allow women to enter. And this one is also ancestral well at Odiama. Briefly, then what to have here, this is our encounter with the external world. Okay. I'm talking about the white men when they came. You know, they were with our parents as well. And when they came through the brass. This is known as Victoria Wharf at some brass. Okay, they came through this brass. This is where they sailed their ship. What we have here, this is a lighthouse. They built it as well to signify that they got to their destination. That place was like their embassy. When they came, they also built their consulates. Okay. Where they rested, just like their embassy, where their staffs and the rest of it, where they rested. And this UAC building also in Akasa. You can see that everything is Akasa. Yeah. Because that was where they landed. So they made it their harbor, their headquarters. They want to have here. When they came, they treated what to call slave trades. Our brothers and sisters were sold out, so we are being kidnapped, and there was what we call slave trade. And we have what we call slave house, a warehouse for slave. We have warehouse for goods and services. But in those days, there was what we call slave house.
So you mean this slave house is still existing now?
It's still there. This particular one is still there in Akasa. When you get there, you see it.
You will take us there one day.
Where the slaves were kept, where they have a good number, they will ship them to that river and take them away. And when they came, there was what to call trade by barter. There was no money. Yes. And these are some of the items they used as trade by barter. When the white men came, they used the mirror as a medium of exchange. Okay? They can give one mirror to our parents in those days, and they can give out human. Like the whole gene was the center of it all. You can see a white man can give one bottle out to our parents in those days that they would release 5 slaves. That was how terrible this was. All right? And they use the sword. The smoking pipe was used as a medium of exchange. We have the tobacco. We were only using it as vegetable. But when the white men came, it was used. They would grind it and put it in the smoking pipe, and they use it. We are talking about our encounter with the external world. Okay? Then what you see here, this is called, after the era of trade by barter, we had the first money, which is the cowries alongside with the Manila. They came long in hand. Like this one, according to history, that this was the smallest money. Like today, now our smallest money should be 5 naira, so we are no longer using it.
Yeah.
This was the smallest when they were using it alongside with this. But something happened. This Manila, for instance, this is an iron.
Yeah.
Just imagine you are paid with 100 of it. You can't move around with it. So it became threats to them. They now have to discover another money called the palm, the chili, and the rest. These are they. The white men money, of course. This was what they were using before the naira we are using today. It's a revolution.
Yeah.
We went from trade by baton to cowries, to Manila, to pound, shilling, and naira. Today we are hearing of crypto. Maybe the next revolution that will be crypto, we don't know. So it's just a revolutionary. Then what we are seeing here, these are some of this J.A. Green work. Okay, J.A. Green is a known photographer from Rivers State, Bonny in particular. All right, the pictures were being attributed to a white man, J.A. Green. The J.A. Green means Jonathan Adagogo Green. Okay, but the picture, because of the qualities of the picture, it will be attributed. The praise was given to white man. All right, so we are showcasing it to know that our people, we are intelligent. They have the sight, and the black men you are seeing in their midst. When the white men came, there was what we call language barrier. You know, they were speaking the English. We were speaking Izon.
Yeah.
So there was what we call language barrier. So what they did, those of our brothers that have taken as a slave, they have to go back. Those of them that have learned, they brought them to stand to mediate.
To interpret.
Yeah, to interpret for them. We already know what is postal office. And these are some of the trade they did with us, with our parents. Talking about the palm fruit, like what is this called? Malaysia took this, and today they are doing well with the palm. This was not the trade the white men did with our parents. Where they came, although before they came, our parents used to process yam with the food. But when the white man came, they introduced the engine, the processing process, and this one is what they are using. And what you are seeing here, this is known as cannon, which my boss have talked about before. Cannon, they came with the cannon, we used the cannon to fight them, and those of them that died were buried here, known as the white men. It's called white man grave. Some of them died of malaria, some of them died during the war. When they came, during the Kasare, they wanted to take our lands. And a man known as King Koko fought. All right, and at the end of the day, he overcome them. Some of them that died were buried here. And what we have here, this is King Koko that fought the Akasa raids. This is King Koko, and this is a mausoleum where he was buried. Okay, then what I have seen here, we know Loibri oil fields.
Yeah.
Yes, this
first oil well.
Yes, first oil well in commercial quantity. You know, Loibri in the year 1956, and this is the crude oil. This is how it looked like. Okay, already we know the story. The what we are seeing here, this is Isiboro story. Isiboro was a policeman in Lagos. He hates injustice. At the end of the day, he was framed up, he was dismissed. He came back and he saw what is going on in his own environment. He formed his 12 days revolution where he fought the federal government. Please stop this marginalization. How can I be producing oil? Nothing to show. Stop oppressing us. Allow us to control.
So this was where he was resisting arrest?
Yes, he was arrested. He was resisting arrest. We have where he was arrested. He went on trial and the rest of it. And he was condemned to death. I will know what happened when the federal government, during Biafra, he granted amnesty and he became a military man, but he died during the war. You are seeing here, these are still J.A. Green pictures to tell us what happened in the past. You can see our ancestors, they were nude, how traditional white wedding came in. You know, our culture is traditional marriage. We are not known for wedding. This was how colonialism started, when we started doing wedding. And look at the same ancestors that were nude, they are now wearing clothes. Look at what is it called? How do we call it? Colonization. Look at a white woman in a boat. Our people are pulling her. Then wealth, in those days, this was how wealth was measured. The number of wives and children. You have plenty wives, you have plenty children, you go to the farm, you cultivate a lot. So this was how wealth was being measured. This is our means of transportation. And this is our culture. Okay? Before the white collar job, this was what our parents were doing. Up to now they are still doing farming, fishing, hunting, tapping, and the rest of it. These are some of the tools. And these are our delicacy. You can't come to Bayelsa without eating the bole. This is one of our delicacy. We have the KKF. You can't stay, it's that you visit Bayelsa, you do not chop KKF. No, nah. You have not come to Bayelsa. All right? Then these are some of the end produce of our parents in those days. Their farm work. Then what we have is this some of our seafoods. This is some of our seafoods. You can see the lobster, the water snail, and the rest of it. And this is a typing rope. You know, they were typing two palm wine. This is what they used to climb the palm tree. And what we have here, this is known as a fisherman's parlor.
Wow.
Yes, before the advent of today, sitting room we have, this was how our parents' sitting room looked like in those days. Inside the room, they have a fire warming the fish already. And before the advent of fridge, they had their own clay pot as fridge. This is the clay pot, which was their fridge. And when you look at this, they were hunting as well. Even inside the sitting room, they are displaying the animal they have hunted. Yes. And our people are very hospitable. We won't take that from our people. They were very hospitable. When you visit our parents in those days, you must be entertained. So this is already, Popo Gari is there for you to be entertained. Pepper soup is there. Palm wine is there. As you come, you must taste something before you leave their house. That was how hospitable our parents were in those days. And when you look at the artistic work, you will see that like this one and this antelope.
Yeah.
What you see here, this is canoe carving. They were carving canoe as well. Then I will tell you a little about this Lake Adigbe.
Okay.
Okay. Lake Adigbe has a little story. In those days, according to history, that a mother and her sister's daughter went to the farm to hunt for what you call Bayelsa soil. You know, it's a doe. Doe, is doe? Yes, it's doe. They went to hunt. And in those days, when you come to the forest and you see a little pot of water hole, you put your ear, you hear a sound. That means there are deposits of fish. That was how ponds were being discovered in those days. Yes, well, because they would dig. As they dig, they will not put stick for the next season. Okay, so as they were trying to get the place, the fish, the place teared open. And this happened. Today, what we call is earthquake. Oh. And the sister's daughter died. Yes. When the mother gets home, she narrated what has happened. And she died. Out of trauma, she died. So, but before she died, she told the community the location at Poi River. So they have to trace the place. And our people, they are a very funny set of people. They love water. They are going to look for their daughter. They went with nets. When they go to the river, the first they started throwing nets. Instead of they start looking for their lost daughter, they
started catching fish.
Yes, they started catching fish. And what happened next was live violent crocodiles were jumping on them. So they have to run for their life. That means the daughters that died, it's not because they don't know how to swim. No, his own daughter that cannot swim. It was because of the crocodiles that devoured them. When they got home, they have to we cannot just let this thing go. You know, those they were idol worshippers. Yeah. They have to go to their idol to consult. How do we do? The idol not refer them to President Warri, the Warri that we know today. They went there. And the chief priest now gave them a deity called Amene and Okoroso. They married deity and gave to them that, oh yeah, go back, when you go back, do the sacrifice. When they came back, they do the sacrifice. And a form of human arose from the river. Today we call it Mami water. It was the chief priest that was, although he's late, when we went for the research, he was the one that was telling us the story himself. That a form of human arose from the river. And he told us that your sacrifice will be accepted. You can go, but don't look back. That according to him, that as they were going, a python escorts them. When they go to the banks of the community, the python disappear. And every day, they fish in this lake twice in every year. After doing the sacrifice, when you look at this is a coconut. Behind you see bottles of Coke. All right? This is how fishing takes place. And this is some of how they fish in the lake. And this is some of our parents in those days. It was not just farming. Yeah. Yes, it was not just farming. In the evening, they have what we call playground, where everybody will come out. You see people playing the Agbolo game. Some are playing this one. Some are wrestling. You know our game. Yeah. Our sport is the wrestling. Some are wrestling. And the rest of it. And what very important in those days, today, when you see a wrestler, you tie big belt. Yeah. But in those days, wrestler tie this tiny one. Depending on the number of persons you are falling. If you are falling just 2 persons, you tie 2. If you are falling 100, you tie 100. That is to say you are a champion. Okay. Then what we have here is known as a rite of passage for female. Okay. You know, our parents practice what we call female circumcision in those days. Cutting of the clitoris. It was very unique because without that circumcision, a child that comes from you as a woman is an outcast. It will not be recognized. Yes, they must do that thing called female circumcision. According to history as well, they say it helps to stop the woman from moving around, promiscuity. Okay, it's a history. Okay, they believe it, and after the circumcision, she gets married. According to history, those days, once she's married, when she's circumcised, the sisters will start coming. The next thing, she's married. Unlike today, that we are the one that will be buying wrapper for our parents. In those days, the parent that will buy everything that the girl
Provide
needs
everything for the girl.
to go and start her
But
life.
today it's not reversed.
Yes, so these are some of the items provided for the lady. And this life was so easy those days. Imagine circumcision, marriage, baby has come. And these are some of the tools used. We have the palm oil, the first they use when the baby is out. We have the black soap. Today we are using Johnson soap and the rest. In those days, this is what they use. And it's very, very, very organic. All right? They will use this is a kernel oil. Very good also. They will use shea butter. This is a sponge they used to bathe our babies in those days. Once it enters water, it's very soft. It's gotten from the palm tree. That is what they use to tie the navel. And this has pepper soup spices for the mother.
Now, this is an exciting part. This is art in the mind of a child. This is a program that the museum have orchestrated to tell us about the children. We want to make sure the children are recognizing this. So look at the beautiful, talented works our children did for us in this year's edition. This is the 3rd edition. And this tells you about a child telling a story about a Sampogo. This is the typical Ijo, this thing, in the Niger Delta area where they pick Isam. And this one, a child used the Prenwinkle and water snail to create an artistic work. Here you're seeing here. Then this is a frog. And that place you're seeing there are paintings of children telling us the story of the Niger. You can see what that child did there. It's portraying our Niger Delta area. And this is the first edition. That's the first edition of Art in the Mind of a Child. This is the first edition. So see the concept of a child. We metamorphose again from this one to this category. This is the 2nd edition. This is the 2nd edition. The interesting part about this one, look at a child telling us a story about which way Nigeria. This is one thing that captures me. The child used pencil to do borderline and telling us air pollution, oil theft, unemployment, economic meltdown, cultism, corruption, bunkering, kidnapping. Tells you that Nigeria is sitting on a time bomb if it is not well managed. This one is telling us about the flood that happened. This is secondary school child's work, while this one is an embedded fabric work, trying to tell us about our mothers. Now, this child is not telling us Nigeria should unite. See the medium, you see it's scatter, but trying to bring it together. This is also the peacock of this thing. Now we go to the last one, which is for secondary. This category is strictly for primary. So we go to the secondary school. This same edition, this one we did, the children were speaking our language, which we did today. Speaking 4 major languages in Bayelsa State: the Ijo, the Epie, the Ogbia, and the Nembe. Scenario we are seeing here, these are works of our children. We're using, trying to exhibit their works, art in the mind of a child, trying to make sure that their artistic work, their talent is not put in a wrong perspective. Is to keep them busy. Look at this. Look at the scenario, a child of 13 years doing this. This is strictly for secondary section. We had to collapse the conference hall so that we exhibit their works. That is a child's work. When the mother was narrating this for me, she said the girl was not tired, relentlessly trying to impress the judges, and it became one of the best artworks too that was exhibited on that day. Look at these ones here. Children trying to do construction work, house planning setting. But that's the one I like the most. I almost taken it as a dream house. Are you seeing it? See how the creativity, all using cardboard paper to create an effect here. Like a balcony where you can have a rest, do your parties like that, see the staircase. That is it you're seeing here. Then the child here is doing a paper mache, doing a coat of arms.
Yeah.
When we move here again, Africa, Queen Africa, mother, like that. See these things. And most of these works you're seeing here tells you that they're talking about Nigeria, they're talking about its environment, and telling us a story. Look at this one, our waterways now. The child is doing a canoe, and see and everything from this year so now more photogenic than you can imagine. Now look at this one, illustrating a village setting, which is this is a mosaic work using broken bottles to create a pot. Are you seeing that?
Yeah.
And that's the same thing here. A child is doing this one. Why we see this one also again? A child presenting a work of art for us to see. These were all what the children chose to give us this year. I'm so impressed with what they did this work here. Look at this particular work here. This is using beans, eating beans to do an environment for us. Look at it here now. If you look at it from this picture, I mean, if you look at what you're seeing, there are two different things here. And that's a bit of... Finally, I want to end by saying, this is one of my talent hunts. This particular work. When I even queried the child almost cried. It's a masterpiece you're seeing here. For a child of 13 years to be able to get the stroke like an adult, until I met the teacher said he has been put to tests by the proprietors, and he did, seated there, he reproduced the proprietor of that school. I was now comfortable and relaxed. Basically, what am I trying to say? We want to showcase the heritage of Bayelsa State, using the children to promote our culture and preservation. I wish that you out there that are watching us, encourage the Bayelsa State Heritage Museums and Monuments. We want a message to be told that there is a museum in Bayelsa State, a museum that is trying to preserve not only our culture, but also to increase the talent of our young ones, so that, because they are the tomorrow generation, and if we don't model them and guide them, we will be missing something. And that is why we also introduce what is known as a talk show in culture. You'll be amazed when they were displaying and doing competition in that area, and they came out successful. We are praying and hoping by next year, I hope you partner with us, and the governor will help us to promote the Bayelsa State. He has been doing so much for us. I want to appreciate him again, our miracle governor, for all his effort to see that the museum do not go down, but the museum shall always rise to protect our culture.
Thank you very much.